Peace. It's IOGBO this reset. Quick and to the point, ladies. You got a new man in your life, right? That your baby daddy, he want to meet the guy for obvious reasons. The man's around his child. But new dude don't want to meet baby daddy. Let me explain something to you ladies. When a man is invested in a woman, he wants to stand across from any man attached to that woman, and no one is more attached to her than her baby daddy. He wants to stand across from him and non-verbally look him in his eyes and say, non-verbally, this mine. When a man is invested in a woman, he makes it known. He states his claim. So if the new guy don't want to meet your baby daddy, flag on play. He's not invested in you. That's just what it is.
Being in a relationship with someone who is insecure about your child's father, whether it's your ex-husband or ex-boyfriend, is so frustrating, especially if you are someone who's trustworthy and your relationship with your ex or with your kid's father is completely platonic. In this video, we're just going to watch a few gentlemen who's going to tell their perspective on the insecurities when dealing with your ex and how the person who you are with, how they should behave or react. So before we get into the video, I'm TT Rosie, your local auntie, and this is Glow Up Girly, where we help you heal, grow, and grow. So let's get into the video.
Can we normalize like baby mom and baby daddy friendships not being awkward? Like, I should not have to explain why me and my co-parent are so cool. We family. We got the same kids. With your insecure ass. Just because we are cool does not mean we want each other. Our children deserve to see mommy and daddy getting along no matter what.
Period. So I totally agree with what this young man said. I think that when we decide to get in relationships with people and we know that they have children, we really need to have a really good understanding on what that means, especially if you're someone who maybe you don't even have children. You really need to prepare for that, because it's definitely not for the weak. So in regards to what he was saying about being insecure, whether you want to admit it or not, you can say you're not insecure. But if you do have a problem with the person who you are with, co-parenting with the other parent of their child, you are insecure. And if that situation has anything to do with if that person may have stepped out on you, then you guys need to be having a whole other conversation. Because as long as you're with that person, you're going to still be insecure. So if that's what it is, if there was a cheating situation going on, you either need to leave that person or you need to work out your insecurity. But in this situation, from what he was saying, I'm going to speak specifically to his point. From what I took from what he was saying, it seems like the both parents are in a platonic co-parenting relationship. And so when that is the case, when he don't want her, she don't want him, and the person that he's with or the person that she's with is trying to do something to hinder that, they need to reevaluate their relationships with those people. Because, like me personally, I don't want to be with someone who's insecure about my ex. I don't want him. He don't want me. We're just doing what we have to do for my child. So to me, it's weird for someone to make it seem like it's more than what it is. And like he said, you're trying to do the right thing for your children. I want my children to see that, yeah, her parents may not be together anymore, but at least they get along, at least well enough to make sure that they are making things happening for her. So for anybody, for me, I would be very highly upset to be with anybody that has a problem with me communicating with my daughter's father, or my ex-husband, in any type of way, because at the end of the day, I'm an honest person. I'm a trustworthy person. I would not give anyone any reason to think otherwise. I have good common sense. I know how I behave, and so I know I'm not behaving in a way that's contrary to what is needed to be in a relationship. So I'm not going to be with somebody and being flirtatious or having extra additional conversations with my ex or anything like that. So for anybody, if I get with anybody that I'm with, if they make it seem like it's more than what it is, I have a major problem with that. And nobody is going to come in and dictate my co-parenting relationship at all. Nobody's going to come in and tell me, well, you shouldn't ask him for anything and you shouldn't do this. You should know. You're not going to tell me any of that, because I'm not going to tell you that whatever pertains to, if you have a kid's mother or ex-wife or whatever the case may be, I'm not going to say, well, don't call her, don't talk to her, blah, 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 blah. Whatever y'all doing, as long as, I know, because if I'm with you, then I should be able to trust you. So that shouldn't even cross my mind in the first place to think that your relationship with her is more than what it is. So I'm not going to be like, oh, well, you can't talk to her or whatever the case may be. I honestly do not even care. As my main concern is for the children. So as long as your child or children or whatever, however many kids you have, as long as they are being well taken care of and they are loved by both parents, that's all that matters to me. So to be with someone who makes it seem otherwise, that's weird, especially when you're not showing any signs. To them, they might think it's signs, but that's because their emotional intelligence and their maturity is not where it needs to be. Because if it was, then they will honestly see it. And then me, I'm the type of person that I don't have nothing to hide. My phone is always open if you want to snoop. But even that right there is weird. But it is what it is. So we just got one last video. This is going to be a quick one today, but I really wanted to touch on this subject because I feel like it don't get talked about a whole lot. Obviously, I didn't see that many videos on it, but I see a lot of videos about women being insecure. But just like women be insecure, men be insecure as well. So I feel like this should help us as women to make sure that we are choosing the right relationships as far as when we have children and the men that we get with. We have to make sure that we set the right boundaries, not only for our ex, but also that the person that we are with. And we cannot allow the person who we are with to dictate our co-parenting relationship, because as women, we'll be salty if our ex get with a woman and she tries to do the same thing and she's acting all jealous and weird. Let's just go to this last video.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you some advice and insight based off of my own personal experience, because I'm also in a relationship with a woman who has children, and my father got remarried to a woman who has children. I have step siblings, so I'm gonna give you some advice based off of how I'm operating right now and based off of how my father operated, the interactions between him and his stepchildren and all that. But I'm also gonna give you some insight just on the world period. All right, so let's get into this. So I think the main thing, the most important thing that you could do is assessing both parties, assessing the mother, your girlfriend, and assessing the father and the dynamic and boundaries that they have between each other. Because here's the thing, if they're both mature and they have a dynamic that is solely based on we have kids together, then you have nothing to worry about. There's no upper hand. He probably not worried about her. She not worried about him. You have nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? You already have the upper hand. You have her. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to worry about. Most importantly, though, you need to see where her head is at regarding her baby father. Because truth be told, bro, it ain't about the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, people will make it seem like the kids hold mad weight, like that she's forever going to love him just because they had kids together. And that's not always the truth, bro. That most of the time isn't the truth. Like, 9 times out of 10, that woman do not want that father back. But if she still does, then you need to figure that out. Because if she still wants the father back, bro, you're in a losing situation. Because then he most definitely has an upper hand over you. They got kids together. She still likes him. If he really wanted to, he could probably pop in and out her life whenever he wanted to. Or he could do something sneaky. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like that's your situation, you need to assess that and figure that out. Because honestly, all of this is in the mother's hands. You know what I'm saying? She shouldn't be putting you in any situations where you really have to speak up much. You know what I'm saying? She should have had the boundaries set before even getting in a relationship. And even if it's a situation of him wanting her, that shouldn't matter because she is the one who has to put up the boundaries. And I don't know your situation completely, but a lot of these fathers is not being fathers. So if you in a situation where the dad is barely even around, bruh, you know what I'm saying? You already winning. You with them kids every day. And they may not realize while they're young, but when they get older, bruh, they gonna know what happened. They gonna know what went on. They gonna know that you was the father figure in their life, not the man that actually produced them. A lot of insecurities in life come with just fear of the unknown. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you need to just sit down with your girl and you need to have a conversation about all this, address some things, assess some things, you know what I'm saying? Set some boundaries if boundaries weren't there and just see how it goes. Because I guarantee just having a conversation about this with your girl could solve a lot of your problems that you're having right now. And also look at yourself in the mirror and ask too, if you really want to be in this for the long haul, you know what I'm saying? If you really want to be a father to them children, if you really want to be with the mother for the long run. Because if you don't, bro, you might as well just leave them kids alone instead of creating a bond with them that is just going to be broken.
That's all I'm saying. I totally agree. He's a very wise young man, and I do agree with everything that he said. So, if you, as a mother, if you already have those boundaries set up, then what really can your new boyfriend or husband, what really can he say? He has to know and understand that, first of all, the kids, they 9 times out of 10, the kids want their other parent involved. They want their father involved, even if their father hasn't been around and hasn't helped out. When that man come around, sometimes you might have those kids that don't want to deal with them. But 9 times out of 10, a lot of kids, they want that love from their father, and that's not to take away from your new boyfriend or your new husband. Because if he's doing the right things and treating them well, they're still going to have that level of respect for him. So, I mean, I have a stepdad and I love him very much. So, he's been around for so many years. So, I just feel like when it comes to the dynamic of your relationship with your ex, as long as you guys are being respectful to one another and you're doing what it takes to make sure that you are taking care of your kid, there's nothing anybody could say, whether it's your new husband, new boyfriend, or whatever. You have to make sure that they know that you can be trusted, and they should already know that. And if they don't know that, then that's their problem. That's something that they need to work out with themselves. But what you don't want to do is be in a relationship with someone who is definitely insecure about the other parent, because they could start feeling the way about your child. They could start acting jealous, or maybe acting funny towards your child, like, oh well, they love their daddy so much, why don't they daddy do it like that? Sometimes people think like that. So you really got to be very careful with that. So yeah, I just want to do a quick video to touch on this subject, because I feel like I don't really see a lot of conversations about the man's side. I just see like a lot of people saying like the woman is insecure, but there's a lot of insecure men out here as well, and they're stifling the relationship or hindering the relationship between the children and their parents because the mother don't want to set those boundaries. And so as women, we have to set up those boundaries, and if we are being a trustworthy person, and the person that we are with, if they're still not getting it, they're not understanding, we need to reevaluate some stuff for real, because our kids come first. Our peace come first. And one thing about me, you're not going to make it seem like I'm doing something that I'm not. I'm not a cheater. I'm not a liar. And if anybody want to make it seem like that, or make it seem like I'm, having feelings for somebody that I clearly said I don't have feelings for, I don't have time for that. I'm not about to argue back and forth with somebody about that. And so for me, you can go. Like, I literally don't have time for it. I honestly would rather be by myself and do the co-parenting thing or whatever than to be with somebody that I got to hear, oh, you still love your ex, or you still like, Man, go on with that. I don't want to hear it. I don't have time for it. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video and you found value in this video, I highly implore you to subscribe. Please leave some comments down. Usually I leave a question at the bottom, so maybe answer the question at the bottom or ask some questions of your own. Are you in this type of situation? Are you in a insecure situation? Is your man being insecure about your ex? Is your ex insecure about your man? Is your ex's girlfriend insecure about you? So leave your message in the comments or leave your story. I would love to hear from you, and we can finish the conversation down in the chat. Once again, I'm your local auntie TT Rosie, and this is Glow Up Girly, where we help you heal, glow, and grow. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye. Mwah.